Well, this is a very interesting thing that I'm super late on. And before you ask, there's probably two questions on your mind. One, Floxcat, why it look like you're squatting on the floor, and two, why you're super late on the topic. And for first part is I'm in a new chair. I still have the gaming chair, but it's kind of broken. It's a long story, but I'm switching it up here to say the least. So we're gonna stick for this until soon after. Um, and for the second reason, it's because I had a busy day, super duper busy day. What that being, of course, I had to do work. Then I gotta go directly to grocery shopping. But we're not here to talk about that, of course. Just know that probably on the flip side, at least me being late to this a little bit, even though I am still posting it on the day this is happening, I can at least think about more and talk about it. Although there's nothing really other to think about other than, uh, yeah, this sucks balls and stuff. Now, of course, for context, for those who don't know, which you could definitely look up online. In fact, I'll link a video down below that sort of also go into detail on why this is bad, of course, and such. But for those who don't know, PlayStation, yeah, just confirmed they just murdered freaking video games in general, or want to in some way. And the reason for that is absolutely fucking nuts. Just because, for context, they confirmed a very big bombshell news that they're no longer printing CDs, or aka disc, for their video games. They're basically saying they're going all digital. And yeah, even I'm not like. And just to clarify, the reason why I'm saying like even I'm not because I'm actually one of those people who kind of does do digitally sometimes because it is unique. But to be fair, and I could just hold on for a second. I mean, I could just pull this out and say we're good. Oh wait, that's not the right one. Yeah, this one's good. This one has the game in it. There you go. Hey, at least I'm telling the truth. Also, I don't even play freaking All-Star Brawl 2 anymore. That game kind of sucked. I was hoping it would be a very good, freaking good Smash clone, but turns out you can't really clone freaking you can't really clone Smash players. But anyways, that's not the point of near or there. But at least it proves the point that yeah, I do have at least physical copies. Of course, I do sometimes digital, but that's like the only digital case I have. It's a long story. Who cares? But yeah, I am, of course, a bit against this because it's not just because of preparation, even though keeping games and its history and historic value and all that gobblegoo, makes sense, especially since you want to at least, keep the history of it. There are way more problems to this. First of all and foremost, they're pretty much removing the option for the customer. Like, again, I don't care if you're digital or physical, because really, who gives a damn? But you would give a damn if one of your options is removed, especially since some might want the physical for other reason other than historic, and some might want digital because it's easy. However, you can't just remove one of the options. That's completely stupid. Plus, also, let's be real here, the real reason why PlayStation is doing this is because, and they sort of weirdly slip it through their explanation, by the way, they're doing this because they want money, obviously. Of course, I know it's the usual same old repeating broken record here, but let's be real here, they're doing this because it's easier for the company to take your games away through legal crappy contracts and such, and a bunch of other goo law that I actually have heard with the PlayStation. It's kind of funny because remember last video, aka last week's video, that I said how Nintendo may have opened the floodgates, but at least they're wearing a scuba gear, aka they were at least prepared of what they were trying to do. Yeah, let's change it to also they were in a submarine too, because holy crap. Because, like, even the video I'm showcasing, which makes a very good point, even though Nintendo is a bit guilty, I mean, we just showed that even, and that's not even the Switch 2, that's a Switch 1 game. At least they're trying to keep it physical, but even then, all they did was just make game key cards. And yeah, as the video jokingly points out, it's insane how Sony accidentally made the game key cards not a big deal. It's kind of funny because I know in the previous video that I jokingly say how much more appealing Nintendo looks right now. Now they're looking even more appealing. And again, that's not to say Nintendo is innocent. Oh, fuck no. I mean, it doesn't come from a Nintendo fan. He knows they're not innocent at all. But holy crap, at least they're still stuck in the past or something, because holy shit. And just to clarify, it is a big deal. This also is a big deal, which leads into the next issue with this. But it is a big deal when Nintendo does also go into it, because trust me, even I am predicting Nintendo might get into it. And that's the scary thing. Other companies might start doing this, and that is very bad, because many people want to own these games. They don't want someone to come in and literally take their games away. And that is a very big issue. That is an issue that these companies are not understanding. And yes, I do think Nintendo might do this too one day, but maybe not. Who knows? But I do have a gut feeling they might. I know Xbox will way more. Like, that's more of a chance they do it, and it is absolutely nuts to say the least. And really, there's a lot more to it. Like, it even makes Sony probably become a monopoly because of that. It got also, just to clarify something too, PC games are a bit of a different story, because at least you still own that stuff. And also, even then, at least you're owning the files and stuff. Sure, you may not have physical media, but that's a little bit of an extreme difference that I may not be an expert explaining this. I'm just saying that, yeah, this is a very bad idea in many ways. Like, we can keep going, but it is definitely bad. And like I said, my opinions on it is, yeah, this sucks. Like, I'm okay with buying digital games. In fact, most of my Switch 2 library is right now is a little bit digital. However, as you guys just saw, although in a bad way, I also do physical. And that's not just one game. Most of my games, that only one game I have that is a cartridge, that has no cartridge, is that freaking Nickelodeon game. I actually have not played it. Again, not part of the video. But I only have one of that, because I too do collect physical copies. And the real people who are going to hurt from this, other than gamers, because really this is going to hurt gamers, is the resale market. Because basically, this is also Sony saying, fuck you, resale. Like, no doubt that the resale market is a bit problematic. I should know. I have actually done a few resales of my stuff before. That's why I don't no longer have the Wii U and Wii, for obvious reasons that we're not going to talk about. But the real issue is, now you're pretty much cock blocking them from reselling in general. You're basically saying, no, we don't want you to resell. And the stuff is going to go super high. They might go out of business because people will not want to resell their stuff because they really need it. And at this point, what the hell? It's really unfortunate. Like, it's already, I mean, GameStop is already dying, but this ain't a problem with GameStop. For example, even though I have used GameStop before myself, I also use another gaming store called Game Cash. Not a big fan, but hey, they have nice people. It's not too bad, honestly. It's like in my mall area, you know. Yes, I live near a mall. I mean, this is where I got this freaking cab, whatever. But that will hurt them too, because unlike GameStop, which might be able to recover even once if they have another crazy stock situation. Remember that scenario? That was like way back. That's like back when I first started this freaking channel. Or rather when I was first living in my official first apartment by myself. But anyways, this is, unless they have that, yeah, freaking GameStop is screwed. But at least they have that chance. Game Corner or Game Cash or whatever, and other video game people who aren't a branch are going to be dead with this. They're going to be fucked. It's not a joke. They're going to lose money from this, because no one will want to resell their stuff. And even then, also, they will not want to buy that stuff because it's going to get too high. because yeah, the pricing of gaming is going high. Like I said, I have to sell my stuff, but some of the stuff I have not sold is my Pokemon games. Okay, maybe that's a little bit because I did sell my Wii U stuff and Wii stuff, but for most part, I still got the mainline games, and I'm never going to sell that, especially now. And it just sucks. Like I don't know what else to say other than it sucks. Like usually I have a lesson or something, or like be hopeful. Like the only good news is at least they confirm it's going to be in 2028, literally on date. Well, except later on in January, but still on that year. So it gives us a bit time. But even then, that's not good. They should not be really doing this. Like the only hope we have is, and to be fair, this is just a shot in a dark cave with a bunch of fucking TNT here. It hopefully they literally go back on it. They have went back on their stuff before. Ironically, the second part of the bad news, which I'm not going to cover it because it's not really who gives a damn. Especially, I mean, it is related, but it's just more hubba. Believe it or not, that second part of news has happened before, but they went back on it. So maybe PlayStation will go back on it, but I don't know. And it's kind of funny because the funniest thing about this, and many people already point this out, and I think I should point this out too. Yeah, looking back at the past, or rather for me, the past will be like literally 2016, comedically because of the whole Switch 2 debacle. Yeah, remember that one video people were using when talking shit about the Switch 2 when they're showing those two guys sharing the game? I'm betting a lot of money that Sony hunted them down, raped them, and killed them. And for legal reasons, I am not joking, because holy fuck. And just to clarify, this is a joke, but you get why I'm joking about that, because holy fucking shit. Because, mind you, it's kind of funny because now those people are feeling, shit, after making those type of videos with that content. Not like their point still isn't matter, but now they're like, oh, you gotta be joking. Our videos are outdated. But it's even more sad because that video actually came out during the Xbox One shit, if you remember that. Which, for those who don't know, if you remember in the Switch 2 situation, Doug Bowser said a similar thing that the Xbox CEO at that time also said. And, you know, Sony at the time used that commercial and a bunch of other crap to dunk and teabag freaking Xbox. Yeah. They're now just as bad as Xbox. Like, holy crap. And I'm not joking with the joke of what I said about what they must have done with those two guys, because holy fuck. Like, there's no other better way to explain it other than that joke, because, yeah, they backtracked. They didn't just backtrack or walk backwards. They jumped freaking 50 feet and dumpster dive into concrete. This is nuts. Like, I'm probably not doing a better job explaining this, but now, the only hopeful thing I could say is, even though I do believe this will be a very bad hit on the video game market, the only thing I could say is hope, but even then, that's kind of like, to say the least. But I do think sooner or later there will be a game crash, and hopefully they'll go back to doing CDs. And I'm not talking about Sony too. I do believe the other companies might actually do this. And I hate to say it, but also Nintendo, even though I do love Nintendo, but even they, again, they're not innocent. In fact, they're probably the ones who started this shit, if you count keycards crap. But holy hell, hopefully there's a video game crash, because if there is, we might be able to get better games. I don't know. Like, really, this is just to say the least. But again, if you want to learn more and a better explanation, alongside also even more funniness, because admittedly I am kind of probably cracking jokes to lighten the mood here, definitely recommend the video down below, or you can look it up, because trust me, it's spraying like wildfire, and trust me, this isn't a hive mind. This is just a general justification agreement from everyone across the fucking earth that this is bad. This is very, very, very bad. And it doesn't just affect video games, but, you know, I prolonged this video long enough. Anyways, this has been Floxcat, snapping out of here. Bye-bye. Fuck.